Hello, and thank you for asking me to give a presentation to your orchid conference there in Taiwan. I'm Don Dennis. I live in Scotland, and I've been growing orchids for about 25 years now. When I try to explain flower essences to people that aren't familiar with them, I often use acupuncture as a means of explaining. Because just as we have qi that flows along our meridians and through the body, plants too have the same qi coursing through their whole leaf structure and root structure and stems, and it kind of gets concentrated in the bloom, in blooming time. And so when we make a flower essence, what we're trying to do is to convey some of that bioelectric energy, some of that qi, into water, and then we hold it there. It gives it shelf life by adding a bit of alcohol. The alcohol anchors the qi, holds the qi in the bottle. Each different type of orchid has its own quality of qi. So you would expect that the Phragmipidium, these pink ones, are going to have an impact on the heart chakra. So the qi from the drops enters the mouth and then travels along the meridians and arrives at the heart chakra and helps to calm the heart.
So you will see that on the right, where there's a little star marking where the forest is, and you can see it's directly there in amongst the Cape Floral Kingdom. It's referred to as the relic forest, as its presence on the landscape dates back to many millions of years, to when most of the lowlands were forested. We live in an ecological house, and it is an example of how to live harmoniously with nature. Here, others learn about plants and nature and of working with them, not against them. There is beauty all around us, and what we plant and create grows strong and true and abundantly. So I am a qualified horticulturalist, so I also could draw on a lot of that knowledge as well in getting to know the forest. So I found that certain trees called me at particular times, and I would sit with them and write down their messages. A few months after moving to the forest, I consulted a clairvoyant. He told me that the trees wanted to work with me and that I would teach courses on the healing of the forest. Your discovery of the forest's healing is the tree's gift to you.
マウント富士フラワーエッセンスっていう名前の通り、その富士山の周辺に咲くお花から作られたフラワーエッセンスです。フラワーエッセンスを開発をした、今ちょっと映ってませんけど、撮影をして、山崎がもうちっちゃい頃から富士山が見えるところで育ったんですね。で、今も実家はその富士山が見える場所にあります。そして私の方はっていうと、母が割とこう感じやすいタイプだったりして、で、やはりその富士山に登山したりして、すごいちっちゃい頃こう一緒に連れて行ってもらったようなこともあります。で、そのようなバックグラウンドがあって、日本でフラワーエッセンスをこう作ろうと思った時に、自然にやっぱりもう富士山しかないっていう直感がやってきました。富士山っていうのは日本のすごく古い時代から、特別ないわゆる霊山と呼ばれる場所で、山自体がそのなんていうんですかね、仏様のように、信仰の対象のその地球上の7つのチャクラの中の、ハートチャクラであるとかクラウンチャクラであるとか、いろんなことを言う人がいますね。で、フラワーエッセンスを始めたばかりの方からよく質問をいただくのは、例えば 恐れに働きかけるフラワーエッセンスを飲むと、この先ずっと恐れを感じなくて済むのかっていう質問なんかをいただいています。そんな都合のいい魔法のお薬ではないわけですね。なぜなら私たちっていうのはこの二元性の世界の中にいて、いろんな喜怒哀楽をこう体験するわけです。ですので、そこから恐れを全くなくしてしまうっていうのは、それは無理ですし、とても不自然なことなんですね。そういったことは一生の間でこう繰り返し起こり続けていくわけです。で不調和から調和に持っていくっていう作用はもちろんマウント富士フラワーエッセンスにもありますけれども、そういう二元性の中で人はこう良くなろうとしてうろたえたり、いろんなことを試みるわけですね。主にやはり欧米で作られていたんですね。で、欧米の文化っていうのは東洋と少しやっぱり違うわけです。で、その二元性のところを超えていくエッセンスが、いろんなブランドを探したんですけど見つからなかったんですね。じゃあもう自分たちで作ろうかっていうことで作り始めたのがきっかけです。で、そんな風にその二元性を超えたところの
And in 1990, my master died. He left his body, and I felt very, very lost because I'd left my world in the West, and I didn't have any career. I had no bank balance. For me, it was finished because I only wanted to be with my master. I didn't really want to be in the community around him without him. The only thing I could think to do was to go to the Himalayas. Just before, when I'd been traveling in India, really like almost in an apple orchard between two streams running down the side of the mountain, and at the bottom was the mighty Parvati River. And I was in heaven. It was a tiny little place. And life became very simple because life just simply consisted of walking in the forests, looking for wild food, looking for wood to use for fire, to cook food on, washing clothes in the river, washing myself in the river. Everywhere you looked, it was majestic landscapes. Everywhere I walked, it was just miraculously beautiful nature. And I didn't have a future. And what I realized when looking back on this period of time was that it was the fact that I didn't have a future which allowed me just to be living in the present. But living like this for perhaps 3 months, I think, what I know is that my mind became very quiet. Probably, it was after about 3 months when I would go walking, I would hear little voices saying to me, come and sit down here, sit down here. I was in complete resistance. I thought, no way is anybody going to tell me what to do now. I did listen to these voices, and I found that they were little flowers, and they would say, sit down here, eat me. Yes, I learned, and I've learned over the years that when I receive guidance, whether it's from flowers or whatever, it's much better for me just to keep saying yes, because when I say no, my life becomes really difficult. I was eating flowers. I was having strong experiences, visceral experiences, great insights and intuitions about myself, by eating flowers. After some months of this, and they gave me the flowers for the 7 chakras. Then at a certain point, they said to me, we're going to teach you how to make essences from the flowers. They told me how to make them. And then they said to me, we want you to take them into the world and share them with as many people as possible.
エッセンスのレイとは源の光です。それは皆さん誰もがすでに知っている自分自身である光です。
今日は、フラワーエッセンスをね、すでにお使いの方も多いと思いますが、フラワーエッセンスをご存知の方にとっても、レイエッセンスは全く新しいエッセンスですね。まず、レイエッセンスは花を通して現れたものではなく、光のエッセンスと言われますが、皆さん自身の源でもある、 その源からのダイレクトな光の現れです。エッセンスはその人の最も高い可能性と開くことを助けるエッセンスです。エッセンスは一言で言うと、私が私であるためのエッセンスということができます。エッセンスは真の自分に目覚める時期にある人には目覚めを促し、目覚めの旅を始めたばかりの人にはそれを助け、目覚めの旅を歩いている人にはガイドとして、工事の私からの光の贈り物です。ということですね。例えばですね、何か糸を持ってただボトルを置くということだけでも、エッセンスは働きます。取り出して目の前に置くということだけでも、もうそのボトルに意識は向いていますよね。で、さらに施術をされる方、特にボディワークをされる方などは、ボトルを施術台の周りや、あるいは体の上に置くというような使い方をされる方がいらっしゃいます。で、あるいは、風水がですね、生活により取り入れられている台湾ではですね、風水的な使い方を結構自由にされているようです。ボトルを置くというだけでもですね、そんな本格的な使い方もできます。でも、シンプルにですね、意識してボトルを置くということ。それだけでもね、自分は今このエッセンスをワークをしているということなんです。で、この点滴台はですね、いわばレイエッセンスのステージとして作られました。エッセンスを置いたそこを、さらに神聖な場所として、意識を高めることができます。そしてそのステージにボトルが立つことで、レイエッセンスがその部屋やその糸に働きかけていきます。ボトルをね、レイエッセンスのボトルをそこにただ置くと、もうすでにそこが小さな神社になるというふうに言った方がいます。で、これはとってもわかりやすい言い方です。点滴台は、そこに小さな神社を作るというイメージをしてみてください。
In 84, we started now with the essence work and using this new method, as I told you. My work is completely different from like what was doing Dr. Bach. Dr. Bach, he was still cutting the flowers because he found out that the light that was reflected by the flower, the information is charging then into water drops when the sun is coming up. So he could use this knowledge, but at this moment he was still cutting the flowers. And when we cut a flower, there is pain information. So, and I don't want this pain information to be in the essence. I had no idea really how to do the essences. And there were in Switzerland 2 trees that were just flowering and they were calling me. And they told me, what are you waiting for? And okay, I wanted to start working, but I didn't know exactly how to do it. They explained me how to do it. Some kind similar system to our nervous system. It is very receptive also for love, for all kind of information, and it feels also pain. And this is the thing that we have to consider. And for this reason, I wanted to find the possibility without cutting the plant. And the information then goes then from the light directly, that light information of the photons, they go then through the crystal structure into the water. This is like I'm working. And then I mix it up with alcohol and water for the conservation, and that it is. Imagine when I was doing the very first time this dolphin essence, but people, they did not understand. They were frightening. They were thinking, oh, he's crazy. What is he doing to the dolphins? Is he killing the dolphin? We don't know what he's doing to the dolphins. Of course, I'm not killing the dolphins. And then I had to write on the label, made with free animals, respecting the nature, respecting the animals, so that people know that I'm not doing any harm to the animals. Then also dolphins save dolphins. Like, for example, this picture I found in Uruguay. There was a rescue station for wild animals. That was an amazing story because they found this dolphin baby. The mother was already in a net, in a fisher net, and she was dead. This man told me they could save the baby, but he did not want to eat. So they were thinking that the dolphin baby is going to die. And then he told me there were people from Montevideo, and they gave him a small bottle. It was written Delph, and then they gave it to the animal and it started to eat. And I was crying. I say, okay, I know the essence.